You know what's worse than not being able to afford a supercar? Being able to afford one and completely ruining it. Some celebrities have so much money and so little taste that they turn million-dollar machines into rolling embarrassments. But here's the thing. Not every famous person is an idiot. There are 3 legendary collectors who understand what makes a car truly special. We're talking about collections worth hundreds of millions of dollars, filled with cars so rare that most people will never even see one in person. Today, we're counting down the 5 celebrity car collections that are absolute disasters, and the 3 that are genuinely legendary. If you love cars and can't stand seeing beautiful machines destroyed by terrible taste, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because we're about to get into some serious automotive carnage. Let's start with the bad news first, because honestly, these collections are so painful to look at that we need to get them out of the way. Number 5. Nicki Minaj. Look, I get it. Nicki Minaj has a brand. Everything's pink. Her outfits, her wigs, her entire persona revolves around this Barbie aesthetic. But when you take a Lamborghini Aventador, one of the most aggressive and beautifully designed supercars ever made, and wrap it in hot pink, you're not making a statement. You're committing automotive murder. The Lamborghini Aventador is a masterpiece of Italian engineering. Sharp angles, aggressive stance, a naturally aspirated V12 that screams to 8,500 RPM. It's a car that demands respect. But Nicki's version? It looks like a toy. A very expensive, very fast toy that completely misses the point of what makes a Lamborghini special. Here's the problem with her collection. It's not about the cars, it's about her brand. Every vehicle she owns gets the same treatment. Pink wrap, custom interior, more pink. It's a one-note approach that shows zero appreciation for automotive design. These cars become mobile billboards instead of the engineering marvels they were meant to be. And look, if you want a pink car, fine. But when you're dropping hundreds of thousands of dollars on some of the world's most exotic machines, and your only modification is making them match your Instagram aesthetic, you're not a car collector. You're just rich. Number 4. Will.I.Am. Will.I.Am thinks he's a car designer. He's not. What he is a guy with too much money and access to West Coast customs, which is a dangerous combination. His most infamous creation is a custom 1958 Volkswagen Beetle that cost $900,000 to build. Let me repeat that. $900,000 for a Volkswagen Beetle. Now, you might be thinking, okay, maybe it's got some insane engine swap or cutting-edge technology. And you'd be right. It's got a twin-turbo Porsche flat 6 engine. That part actually makes sense. But then you see it. This thing looks like it was designed by someone who watched Dick Tracy on acid and thought, yeah, that's what cars should look like. It's got this bizarre, retro-futuristic design that doesn't know if it wants to be a 1930s gangster car or a spaceship. The proportions are all wrong. The details are overwrought. It's trying so hard to be unique that it forgot to be good. And this isn't his only disaster. His entire I Am Auto project is filled with custom vehicles that prioritize shock value over coherent design. They're not beautiful. They're not functional. They're just weird for the sake of being weird. The worst part? Will.I.Am genuinely thinks he's pushing automotive design forward. He talks about blending retro shapes with futuristic details like he's some kind of visionary. But what he's actually doing is taking perfectly good cars and turning them into confused messes that nobody wants to look at. Number 3. Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman has always been eccentric. The hair, the piercings, the wedding dress. The guy built a career on being unpredictable, but his car collection takes it to a whole new level of wrong. His most famous vehicle is an airbrushed Hummer H1 that automotive journalists have described as 7,154 pounds of bad taste. And they're not exaggerating. This thing is covered in provocative imagery that would make a strip club owner blush. It's not edgy. It's not cool. It's just uncomfortable to look at. The Hummer H1 is already a polarizing vehicle. It's massive, it's impractical, and it drinks gas like it's going out of style. But at least in its stock form, it has a certain military-inspired aesthetic that some people appreciate. Rodman's version throws all of that out the window in favor of airbrushed graphics that belong on the side of a van in a bad 1970s movie. And it's not just the Hummer. His entire collection follows the same pattern: extreme graphics, provocative imagery, and modifications that prioritize shock value over anything resembling good taste. While Rodman's eccentric personality is part of his brand, his automotive choices cross the line from unique to genuinely offensive. Here's the thing about car collecting. You can be eccentric, you can be bold, you can even be controversial, but there's a difference between making a statement and just being tasteless. Rodman's collection is firmly in the latter category. Number 2, Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber owns some genuinely impressive cars. He's got a Bugatti Veyron, a Bugatti Chiron, and several other high-end exotics that any car enthusiast would be thrilled to own. But then there's the leopard print Audi R8. Let me paint you a picture. The Audi R8 is a stunning piece of German engineering. Mid-engine layout, naturally aspirated V10, sharp lines, and understated elegance. It's a supercar that doesn't need to scream for attention because it's confident in what it is. And then Bieber took it to West Coast Customs and said, "You know what this needs? Leopard print." The result is exactly as bad as you're imagining. Maybe worse. It looks like a Hot Wheels car that a kid designed after eating too much candy. The leopard print wrap completely destroys the R8's clean lines and sophisticated design. It's tacky, it's juvenile, and it's a perfect example of having money without having taste. But it's not just the R8. Bieber has a habit of taking beautiful cars and commissioning over-the-top custom work that ruins them. Chrome wraps, wild body kits, and modifications that make these cars look more like video game vehicles than actual automobiles. The frustrating part is that Bieber clearly has access to incredible cars. His Bugattis are relatively tasteful. But his tendency to let shops like West Coast Customs go wild with customization shows a fundamental lack of appreciation for automotive design. These cars were designed by some of the best minds in the industry. They don't need leopard print to be special. Number 1, Chris Brown. And now we arrive at the absolute worst celebrity car collection. Chris Brown's garage is a masterclass in how to take beautiful exotic cars and turn them into Fisher-Price toys. His collection is filled with chrome-wrapped Lamborghinis, color-changing finishes, and custom body kits that make these cars look like they belong in a cartoon. His Lamborghini Huracan has a chrome wrap with a color-changing finish. His Lamborghini Gallardo has been described by automotive journalists as looking like a Hot Wheels car. His Aventador has a wide body kit and more chrome than a 1950s diner. Here's what makes this collection so offensive. Lamborghini spends years designing these cars. They test them in wind tunnels. They obsess over every line, every angle, every detail. The result is some of the most aggressive and beautiful supercars ever made. And then Chris Brown takes them and wraps them in chrome. Chrome wraps are the automotive equivalent of wearing too much jewelry. They're loud, they're flashy, and they scream, "Look at me," in the most desperate way possible. They destroy the original design intent of these vehicles and turn them into rolling mirrors that blind other drivers. But it's not just the chrome. It's the excessive modifications, the garish color schemes, and the complete lack of restraint. Every car in his collection looks like it's trying too hard. And when you're driving a Lamborghini, you shouldn't have to try at all. The worst part? These modifications aren't cheap. He's spending tens of thousands of dollars to make these cars worse. That money could have gone toward buying more cars, or better cars, or literally anything else. Instead, it went toward turning million-dollar exotics into automotive embarrassments. Now let's cleanse our palates and talk about the collectors who actually get it. Number 3. Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld doesn't collect cars. He collects Porsches. And not just any Porsches. He focuses on the rarest, most historically significant models that Porsche has ever produced. His collection includes over 40 Porsches, though he sold 17 of them in 2016 for $22.2 million. Let me repeat that. He sold 17 cars for over $22 million. That's not a collection. That's a museum-quality archive of Porsche history. One of his most famous cars is a 1955 Porsche 550 Spider that sold for $5.355 million. This is the same model that James Dean was driving when he died. It's a piece of automotive and cultural history. He also owns a 1986 Porsche 959, one of the most technologically advanced supercars of its era, valued at over $1 million. But what makes Seinfeld's collection legendary isn't just the value, it's the focus. Instead of buying every exotic car he can get his hands on, he's dedicated himself to one brand. He understands Porsche's history, their engineering philosophy, and what makes each model special. He can tell you about the differences between a 1973 Carrera RS and a 1974 Carrera RS. He knows which years had the best engines, the best transmissions, the best everything. This is what separates a real collector from someone who just buys expensive cars. Seinfeld has expertise, he has passion, he has a deep appreciation for what makes these cars special, and his collection reflects that. When you look at his garage, you're not seeing a bunch of random expensive cars. You're seeing the evolution of one of the world's most iconic sports car brands. You're seeing air-cooled masterpieces, rare race-spec models, and limited edition variants that most people will never even know existed. That's a legendary collection. Number 2, Jay Leno. If Jerry Seinfeld's collection is a focused study of one brand, Jay Leno's collection is a comprehensive history of the automobile itself. Leno owns over 180 cars and 160 motorcycles housed in his Big Dog garage near Burbank Airport. The estimated value of his collection ranges from $52 million to over $100 million. But here's what makes it special. It's not just about expensive cars. It's about preserving automotive history. His collection includes vehicles from the early 1900s all the way up to modern hypercars. He's got a 1994 McLaren F1 valued at up to $20 million. He's got a 1955 Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Gullwing Coupe. He's got multiple Lamborghini Miuras, including one he uses as a daily driver. He's got Ford GTs, vintage race cars, and experimental vehicles that most people have never heard of. But what really sets Leno apart is that he actually works on these cars. He's not just a rich guy who writes checks. He gets his hands dirty. He understands the engineering. He can explain how a 1906 Stanley Steamer works just as easily as he can explain the hybrid system in a modern hypercar. His YouTube channel, Jay Leno's Garage, has become one of the best automotive resources on the internet. He brings in other collectors, he showcases rare vehicles, and he educates viewers about automotive history. He's not hoarding these cars. He's sharing them with the world. And here's the best part. Leno actually drives his cars. That McLaren F1, he takes it out on the road. Those vintage race cars, he runs them at historic racing events. He understands that cars are meant to be driven, not just displayed. This is what a legendary collection looks like. It's diverse, it's educational, and it's maintained by someone who genuinely loves automobiles. Leno isn't collecting cars to show off his wealth. He's preserving history. Number 1. Ralph Lauren. And now, we arrive at the most legendary celebrity car collection in existence. Ralph Lauren's garage is estimated to be worth between $600 million and $1 billion. Let me say that again. $1 billion in cars. But it's not just about the value. It's about what he owns. His collection includes some of the rarest and most beautiful automobiles ever created. We're talking about cars that museums would give anything to have. The crown jewel of his collection is a 1938 Bugatti Type 57 SC Atlantic. Only 4 of these cars were ever built, and Lauren's is considered the most beautiful. It's been called the Mona Lisa of automobiles. The car is valued at over $100 million. That's not a typo. $100 million for a single car. But he doesn't stop there. He also owns a 1962 Ferrari 250 GTO, one of only 36 ever produced. This car is valued at $60 to $70 million depending on market conditions. He's got a 1958 Ferrari 250 TR, a 1960 Ferrari 250G TSWB Berlinetta, a 1964 Ferrari 250 LM, and at least 16 Ferraris total. His collection focuses on pre-war classics and rare Ferraris. These aren't just cars, they're rolling pieces of art. Each one represents the pinnacle of automotive design from its era. The craftsmanship, the engineering, the attention to detail. These are cars that were built when manufacturers cared more about beauty than profit margins. And here's what makes Lauren's collection truly legendary. His eye for design. The man built a fashion empire on understanding aesthetics, and that same eye translates perfectly to his automotive choices. Every car in his collection is not just rare or valuable, it's beautiful. His collection has been featured in major automotive museums. It's been photographed for countless magazines. It's been studied by automotive historians. This isn't just a collection, it's a cultural treasure. Ralph Lauren understands something that most celebrity collectors don't. Cars aren't just about speed or status. They're about design, history, and craftsmanship. His collection reflects that understanding. Every vehicle he owns is a masterpiece. That's what separates a legendary collection from everything else. It's not about how much money you spend. It's about what you choose to spend it on and why. Lauren's collection shows impeccable taste, deep knowledge, and genuine appreciation for automotive excellence. So there you have it. 5 celebrity car collections that are absolute disasters, and 3 that are genuinely legendary. The difference between them isn't just money. It's taste, knowledge, and respect for what makes cars special. Chris Brown can wrap all the Lamborghinis he wants in chrome. Justin Bieber can leopard print every Audi in existence. But they'll never have what Leno, Seinfeld, and Lauren have. A collection that actually means something. So, which collection surprised you the most? Did we miss any terrible celebrity garages that deserve to be roasted? Drop a comment below and let us know. And if you want to see more videos breaking down the best and worst in the automotive world, make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on, because we've got plenty more coming your way. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.